This is Lunchtime Politics, reaching you live from our global headquarters here in the nation's commercial nerve center, Lagos. I'm Jeffrey Uzoma. Here are the big stories we're tracking for you in the Polity today. Again, in another dramatic episode, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, unable to arrest wanted former governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello, in Abuja shortly after Mr. Bello visited the commission's headquarters. An independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, begins distribution of sensitive and non-sensitive materials to the 18 local government areas of Edo State ahead of Saturday's polls. Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa assures the people of adequate security on Saturday. Thanks again for joining us on the program. And just before we get to what happened or played out last night at the Kogi State Governor's Lodge in Abuja, let's tell you that prior to that the visit of the wanted former governor of Kogi State, Yaya Bello, to the headquarters of EFCC has left many people confused as to what actually played out. The director of Yaya Bello's media office, Mr. Charles Michael Ohiare, says the former governor honored the invitation of the commission but was not interrogated. However, the head of media and publicity of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Dele Oyewale, says the former governor is not in holding facility or was not in holding facility of the commission and remains wanted by the commission. Let's take a listen to this report.
Early Wednesday morning, a story emerged from the former governor of Kogi State, Mr. Yahaya Bello, that he reportedly honored the invitation of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over allegations of fraud. Later in the day, pictures emerged of the former governor, accompanied by his successor, Governor Usman Ododo of Kogi State, in what is expected to be the premises of the headquarters of the commission. A statement from the director of the Yahaya Bello media office, Mr. Ohiare Michael, states that the former governor had finally honored the invitation of the commission to clear his name. The statement adds that the decision was made after due consultations with his family, legal team, and political allies. However, the commission did not initially confirm the statement. Later in the day, a statement from the head of media and publicity of the commission, Mr. Dele Oyewale, explains that Mr. Bello is not within the facility of the commission. Another statement from the former governor's media office states that Mr. Bello was not interrogated by the officials of the EFCC during his visit to the commission. There was no information on how long he stayed within the facility. Mr. Bello is facing money laundering charges to the tune of 80 billion naira. Since the commencement of the case against him at the Federal High Court in Abuja in April 2024, the former governor has been absent from court to take his plea. Emanuela Ekele, Channels Television News.
So that is exactly what played out in the day. But in the night, late last night, something actually played out. So I'm going to do two things. First, as at that morning hours, we didn't have visuals of him visiting. We saw pictures. So take a watch. Just see the pictures of him visiting. So you can see Usman Ododo with him around the entrance of the EFCC office. And then you see Yaya Bello. We don't know how long this conversation was. Maybe some officials of the EFCC. We did not see him go into any building. Then he started walking back to the car. And just like that's the much we can get. Now, let's take you to what happened in the night. This is Ododo and Yaya Bello at the EFCC office. Now, this is around the area where the governor's lodge is in Abuja when the EFCC started looking for former governor Yaya Bello to get him arrested. And it was quite a situation where even my colleague were affected, their phone and their camera seized and all of that. So you can see journalists trying to make sense of what was going on. But the EFCC was unable to arrest Yaya Bello at the end of the day. So this is exactly what played out in the very first episode. Well, what really is going on with the issue of Yaya Bello and the EFCC? We're being joined on the program by Mr. Mike Ejiofor, former DSS director. Mr. Ejiofor, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Mr. Ejiofor, I don't know what your interpretation of what played out, because it's just almost amusing what we see play out between the EFCC and Yaya Bello. He said he was at the office to report himself. So maybe you walk us through what it means to honor an invitation, so we can probe whether Yaya Bello actually honored an invitation. And if he did honor an invitation, how come he was not arrested? He's a wanted man. And they later went to arrest him later in the night. So help us make sense of this, because Nigerians are a bit confused and almost upset as to what is going on.
Well, I'm as confused too as other Nigerians. This is very dramatic. Like in the social media, you hear people saying that whatever does not happen in Nigeria does not exist. It's quite unfortunate, honestly speaking, and embarrassing what's going on. From the two parties, let me start from
Mr. Jaffa, can you... Oh dear. Okay, we're trying to see whether we can reestablish connection with Mr. Jaffa. Mr. Jaffa, can you hear us? All right.
Yes, I can hear you.
Please go ahead. For a moment, the network froze.
Yes. So it's very, very dramatic and embarrassing what's going on. Like I said initially, the governor, that's Ododo, facilitated his escape on the first time of arrest before he was declared wanted. Now he's been declared wanted. He's been going to, they've been going to court. He's not appearing in court, and suddenly he appeared. Same thing with the same the governor Ododo. I find it very difficult to explain why he was not arrested at the premises of EFCC. Because one, he doesn't have immunity. If the governor has, and I don't see any reason why the governor should accompany him to EFCC premises. Perhaps the EFCC, rightly or wrongly, was trying not to interfere with the governor's immunity. But the governor is not a suspect and he wasn't invited. It was expected that he should have come with his lawyers. But going there with the governor and the EFCC not arresting him at that premises, both parties are wrong. And that is what he said, two wrongs cannot make a right. And I can't explain what it is. It's either negligence or a tactical error on part of the EFCC. And on the part of Yaya Bello, going to EFCC with the governor. Governor is not a suspect. I just can't make up the whole situation. It's very embarrassing.
Because most times the laws of Nigeria are very clear until it gets to politically exposed persons. It becomes complicated. So people are analyzing that video because we're just seeing him around that premises of the EFCC. Whether indeed he came on his own or the governor was the one that just came to visit and he came along is a question we'll need to continue to ask. But I understand you have a busy schedule. So in letting you go, where do we go from here? Because this is a national embarrassment that Mr. Yaya Bello cannot be taken to court to even take a plea. Whether he is guilty or not guilty is another kettle of fish altogether. Just the situation, because this is becoming a joke taken too far. If the man he has a case to answer, he can clear his name. Let him go and clear his name. If he's guilty, let him be found guilty and taken to prison. It's as simple as that. So where do we go from here?
Well, the matter is in court. I think the next adjourned date, he should appear in court if he doesn't want to appear in EFCC, and the EFCC had opportunity of arresting without arresting him. So it's a complicated matter. Let's wait till the next adjourned court date. Let me appear in court. And possibly at court, EFCC will arrest me and conclude the investigation.
Mr. Michael Jofo, I want to thank you so much. Well, we're going to keep calling on you at moments like this. You're a former DSS director, so you have insight as to all of this. I would have liked, if I was talking to the EFCC, maybe if you are still in your office, I would have asked for the logbook, because that's the only way we can establish whether Yaya Bello actually visited. But all of that is for the EFCC to respond, because they didn't even acknowledge the fact that he came to the office. They say, you're still a wanted man. Mr. Michael Jofo, former DSS director, thank you so much, sir. Let's allow you go for your meeting.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's move away from that drama and that episode between Yaya Bello and the EFCC. Let's talk about the elections that are coming up. Less than 24 hours. Should be 48 hours, actually, before the Edo State off-cycle governorship election scheduled this Saturday. A collection of sensitive and non-sensitive materials from the office of the Central Bank of Nigeria in Benin City has actually begun. So the media was not allowed access, from what we understand, to the venue, but our correspondent who cited the movement of vehicles of the Independent National Electoral Commission at the CBN office reports that inbound lane of Akpakpaba Road, where the CBN office is located, is currently shut to traffic, while everyone is having to drive on the other lane. Channels Television also observed that there is an unusually high number of security operatives at the CBN office who are keeping watch over the process. Recall that the IGP, Kayode Egbetokun, had assured that the force is deploying over 30,000 officers for this particular election. And still staying, let's stay with the issue of the Edo State governorship election. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, says the Army will play its part to ensure a safe and peaceful governorship election on Saturday. General Musa gave the assurance during the courtesy visit to the Edo State Governor, Godwin Obaseki, in his office. Says the armed forces have been briefed from the presidency to ensure that the electorates have a conducive atmosphere to vote for the candidates of their choice. On his part, the governor of the state, Godwin Obaseki, is convinced that most of the issues have come from non-political actors, noting that even with the public complaints, the police has refused to be fair.
Well, I just want to assure you that members of the armed forces are here to support you in this election, to make sure that the election is peaceful. Our drive, our mandate from Mr. President is to ensure that it is peaceful, free, fair, and credible. And that is what exactly we're going to do. So everybody you see here is here to ensure that is done, and that's the mandate. And that is why I'm here to also look at it, see the troops and address them critically for them to understand the importance of free, fair, and credible elections. Nobody is to take sides. Whoever it is that is popular and the people want, we want the people to be the ones to select who they want, not who is being imposed on them. So that I can guarantee you. We have done it for other states in the past 3 elections. I'm sure you noticed that it went well. We want to do the same thing here. The days of impunity are over. The election shouldn't be war. People shouldn't die because they want to go and select who they want to vote. So, in clear terms, that's why I came.
Politicians will behave the way they like, but members of his security agencies should give the public assurances and confidence. Like we're not asking for any favors. We're saying let Edo citizens be free to go to the polls and express themselves the way they wish, and will accept the outcomes of any properly conducted polls. But when you have a situation where citizens are being intimidated by people in uniform, last night some people woke me up at 3 a.m. There were policemen at Edo Central trying to still arrest people last night.
All right, let's get to the political conversation. Today is by midnight today, all political conversation the curtain will close on it, and it will be time to wait for Saturday for people to make their decision. We're being joined in the program by Norbert Sochukudima, SSA, to the APC chairman on local government, who is also an APC chieftain. He joins us from Abuja studios. Mr. Norbert, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
All right, so it appears that the APC is very chill, very cool, very relaxed ahead of this, because most of the complaints we are seeing consistently is from the PDP, especially the governor of the state, Godwin Obaseki, especially with the issue that has to do with him accusing police of being biased. So my first question will be, why is the APC very relaxed? It's like, for you, there's a level playing field?
Yeah. The only reason APC Edo State and APC Nigeria is relaxed with regard to the Saturday election that is coming is because of how much work we've been able to do at the grassroots level. As you may understand, apart from the fact that I'm an SSA to the national chairman of APC, I'm also the national secretary of Forum of APC local government party chairman across Nigeria, 774 local government. So we have our men on ground in Edo State. So much work has been done, talking to the people door to door, unit to unit, word to word, local government to local government, and we know we are ready and prepared for this election. And we are also asking that there should be a level playing ground for everybody. We are not interested in anything that will twist any political party. Our interest is free, fair, credible election. So we are relaxed, one, because we have confidence in our preparation that we'll win. And the security agencies, the police, the military, have not shown any sign to us that they may be biased. If we sense that, we'll raise alarm. But as of today, we've not seen that at all. That is why we are relaxed.
You said your party is not interested in anybody being twisted. The accusation by the PDP is the fact that the police is working in favor of the APC. Why do you think they are making, because the police has constantly denied that, by the way, I must say that we have Muyo Adejobi yesterday on Politics Today. Why do you think that the PDP is consistent with this? Because one of the things they are raising is the fact that it's only their members that have been arrested because of what played out at the airport and a policeman, God rest his soul, that died and all of that. So why do you think that they are the only ones complaining?
Well, the Bible says that the guilt runneth when no man pursueth, but the righteous is as bold as a lion. If you check what is happening and how the police has been conducting their affairs, those who were involved in that cruelty, in that gruesome murder of a police officer, are the ones being invited or arrested by the police. And they are the one to answer the questions. If any APC member was involved, don't forget that the policeman that was killed was a policeman attached to the APC candidate, you know. So it's obvious where that would have come from. But I don't really want to delve into police investigation and all that. Police is there to do their job. We are not interested in interfering in what police does. Let them do the needful, do the right thing, and arrest those that were involved in that murder. And they should be brought to book.
So let's look at what you think your chances are as the party. Given the, because you're the SSA to the chairman of the party, national chairman of the party. You're also, I think, the secretary of the local government chairman in the party as well, across the 777. So I'm going to ask you broadly now, not just Edo State. So reading the mind of the Edo State people, given how the APC government has managed the economy of Nigeria, do you think you have a strong case to convince people that they should vote for the APC? And if you're telling them, by what parameter will you be telling them? Or have you been telling them? Because we know that the economy is in a very bad shape based on those two policies of the federal government. People are literally struggling to survive. People are being pushed to the edge at this moment. And you know all the stories. I can't keep repeating it. You're familiar with it. I'm sure you're familiar with the numbers as well.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you very much, my brother. I'm a very sincere person by the special grace of God. And I must say and admit that the times are really biting hard. Nigerians are going through some hardship, every one of us, not just even myself, who is an APC man. But the truth remains that this government means well. The government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu means well for Nigeria. And he and his team are working around the clock to see that this economy is fully revived. And from the last information available, you can see that we are not where we were last month or last 2 months. We are getting there, and it will be well with us. Now, coming to the Edo election, as it were, Edo election is not going to be judged by what is happening in the entire Nigeria. That is the truth. The truth is that the election of Edo State coming on Saturday will be decided by the people of Edo State. The current leadership of PDP in Edo, led by Governor Obaseki, failed abysmally in providing leadership. And the Edo people are concerned. They are interested in changing that party and bringing in a fresh blood, someone new. And we have it. The candidate of APC, Senator Monday Okpebelo, for the first time since 1999, in 2023, defeated Edo Central. Edo Central used to be the strongest hold of PDP in Edo State. And it was an incumbent senator that Senator Monday defeated in that election. He's a philanthropist, he's popular, the people want him in Edo. You see the result by the grace of God on Saturday. Edo Central is taken by APC. Senator Monday will win it landslide, 70 to 80%, without exaggeration. Then if you go to his running mate, Right Honorable Dennis Idahosa, who is from, he's a second two-term House of Rep member. He won in 2019, was re-elected 2023, Ovia Southwest and Ovia North East Federal Constituency. That his constituency is also taken, no struggle. And we are going to win that. Then if you come to the leader of the party in the state, Senator Adams Oshomole, who was a two-time governor, who was a national chairman of the party. If you have your history also from the days of ACN, he has never lost a North in any election. This
all right,
one
Mr. Norbert,
Saturday is not going to be any different. Please, I wish you could. Let me just drive this point home, please. Please,
just
very
1 second,
quickly,
so that I can
drive it
ask you
home.
more questions, sir.
Okay, go ahead. Okay.
No, I said you should land on your thoughts so that I can ask you the next question as quickly
Okay,
as possible.
okay, very good. So if before now, Adams Oshomole with the teaming followers and supporters in the North will always deliver up to 80% votes. Now, the deputy governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, who used to be a PDP member, is now an APC man. So the little votes PDP would have gotten from Edo North will also go to APC. So we are looking at about 90% votes from Edo North, about 70 to percent or 80 in Edo Central.
Mr.
And
Norbert,
we'll go to Edo South. We already have a federal constituency.
Let me butt in here. I like, of course, you're a politician, so we don't expect you to talk less. Landslide and all of that. The PDP will argue that the only reason Okwebolo won in 2023 is the fact that the PDP itself did not have its acts together because they seem to, in Edo Central, they seem to have an unwritten rule that the senator cannot go beyond 2 terms. The incumbent then, I heard they wanted to go for a 3rd term, and that shot them in the foot. But let's go to Monday Okwebolo you've been talking about. We've had challenges even being able to talk to him as a media. And we've seen very concerning remarks from his people, from like the APC chairman, Mr. Tenebe, who said the people are so poor they can't watch DSTV. We had a Fekboa yesterday who talked about the fact that he has to be written to and gave all sorts of excuses that are just, I don't want to make any remark concerning that. So what exactly is he saying that he's going to do differently that people are buying into?
It's all right. Let me start from the first thing you mentioned, that people may say the reason Senator Monday Okwebolo won the 2023 senatorial election in Edo Central
that's according to the PDP.
According to the PDP, had crisis. The truth is that PDP Nigeria, PDP Edo State is still in crisis. They are still in crisis. Many of their members, so that thing that contributed, according to them, would also contribute to their heavy defeat in this next election. That is one. If you check that of APC, my immediate boss, His Excellency
Mr. Norbert, if you could go straight, because of time, I understand we don't have so much time. Just go straight to what Okwebolo is doing.
I'm running it. I'm running it. Just allow me. Did a great job. After our primaries, the person that won the ticket is the candidate, and the running mate is this person who took 2nd position. So the leadership of the party was able to unite APC. They are going to this election in Edo united, but PDP is not united. Now, about the senator having not been able to appear in television, I know for sure, as a grassroots person, that he's been strategically doing what will give us victory in our elections. Time going from ward to ward, unit by unit, and that's what we need to win. After election, there will be so much time to come on air, address channel TV,
all right,
Rise,
not a problem. Well,
and what have you.
Mr. Norbert, the time is already fast. It's gone by today. No more campaigns and all of that. But as much as is your defense and the defense of everybody who is a proxy who has been talking on his behalf, saying he's doing grassroots. When you do grassroots, you also need to talk to the bigger media, because that's the place the investors who you want to drag into the state will be watching the most. At the end of the day, the state has a huge debt burden at the end of the day. So, we cannot force anyone to do what they want to do. But I must thank you so much, Mr. Norbert Sochukudima, SSA to the APC chairman on local government. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Let's move on now to other stories before wrap up. A national chairmanship aspirant of the People's Democratic Party in Benue State, Mr. Tehide Utan, has promised to end all internal wranglings in the party if appointed the national chairman of the party at the neck of the party coming up soon. While speaking with journalists in Abuja, Mr. Utan explained that it is important that the party appoints the next national chairman from the North Central after the resignation of the former chairman, Senator Yahaya.
Serve the PDP as national chairman, primarily to run a shuttle diplomacy errand to the doorstep of each and every leader of the party with a message of peace, reconciliation, and unity. Convinced that I am possessing of the advantage to undertake such a task for the fact that by my relative youth, which arms me with a fresh energy and innovation, thinking for the job. My firm conviction is that peace, reconciliation, and unity form the bedrock of the need of our great party at this material time. My ambition represents a statement from the vibrant pool of new generation players in our great party who have gone through the apprenticeship scheme under its leaders and are now qualified and ready to serve at the top levels of party leadership and administration. It is the call of the National Secretariat of the party to lead the way on electioneering strategy and campaigns, and it is equally their call to drop those it may involve in the prosecution of such strategy. I remain a loyal party man subject to the directions of leadership when and wherever I am called upon by the leadership of the party to play any role as in the party's interest. But very profoundly, it remains my resolute article of commitment that in all situations and at all times, the good health and continued growth of the PDP is my cardinal objective. This desire is inclusive of the fortunes of the party in the Edo elections. If and when I am given the mandate to serve as national chairman, but will be my responsibility to shore up the fortunes of the party and build it to win political leadership in Nigeria at the federal level and in all states of the federation.
Well, that's it on the program. Thank you so much for your time and, of course, your usual company. You've been served on Lunchtime Politics. I'm Jeffrey Ozama. Bye-bye.